Insider told me that refunds are skyrocketing for Dragon Age Veilguard, and the whole Trump thing has caused BioWare devs to lose their collective minds. Legacy Gaming Media, who assured us all Dragon Age Veilguard was a total success, the game didn't just underperform, it cratered. Hardly 75,000 in pre-orders, less than 500,000 copies sold, and 30,000 refunds. Man, it's not looking good, huh? That's pretty bad? Yeah, it is. I can't believe Anthem sold better. There are tons of games that sold way better than that.
At its peak, Dragon Age the Veilguard had a Steam rating of around 80%. And for days now, it's been steadily declining, back down to around 70. And it looks like the public opinion over on the Dragon Age subreddit is also
You know what's really funny? Is that this was 1 day ago, and it's already gone down by another 20,000.
To shift. You may have seen previously how Asmongold posted that he was
Did I do that?
excited to play Dragon Age Veilguard over on that subreddit, to which he was extremely swiftly banned from the entire thing. Apparently, moderators even went on to set some auto-mod function up that instantly
Asmon was banned, LOL.
Anyone subscribed to Asmon's subreddit too.
That's right.
Then I saw some reports from a few other subreddits that this was also occurring.
That's also known as racism. So yeah, it's a racist subreddit, and Reddit is racist against me and other gamers. Other based gamers, they're racist against us.
There, where similarly anyone subscribed to those subreddits were also automatically banned from our Dragon Age.
Yeah, there it is. The moderators probably checked my account and saw that I was following Asmongold. So this is what happened. Any person who has ever made a post or done any level of interaction with my subreddit will be categorically banned from other subreddits. We're basically getting quarantined by all the soft boys on Reddit. That's right. That's the Bad Boys Club, bro. It's Roach Ranch, which, by the way, I think we have 15,000 members in it now. Yeah, you're right. I said that on Twitter. I said that they banned my subreddits because they thought my subreddit had an inferior culture. Oh God, people were mad about that one. Oh geez. Oh boy, oh boy. We like to have a little bit of fun. What can I say?
It looks like people over on our Dragon Age really didn't want any negative opinions about the game being posted there. There were a few critique posts I saw getting through, but they were only like the most mild of critiques, and they were few and far between, especially when compared to the overwhelming amount of posts there that were just shilling for the game. As mentioned a moment ago, however, it looks like things are starting to change. Either they've given up trying to keep it just an echo chamber, or the game's biggest offenders are finally admitting that the game's not as good as they were trying to say it is. It's like the facade.
It's crazy that Jason Schreier deleted his post talking about the game doing well. That is unbelievable. And do you want to know why I bet he deleted his post? I bet he deleted his post because he got information, like inside information from BioWare or from somebody who he trusts that knows. And he's like, oh, geez. Oh, all right, get rid of this. Get out of here.
Is being dropped. Perhaps what's going on is a combination of both things. Regardless, let's take a look. From 21 hours ago, a top post reads, "Soft reboot, devoid of life."
Soft reboot.
So obviously avoided spoilers in the intro to this post, but I'll delve into some in-game spoilers later. This game doesn't feel like a Dragon Age game. It feels like a spin-off made by writers who didn't read the material beforehand or who hate this game. Let it be known
that's true.
The entire game's not bad. Solus has some good moments, but overall, the writing and story are a dumpster fire. A good example is Morgan.
Anytime that I see a character that was previously sexualized in a story that is made less sexualized, or the character is less, less attractive, I automatically assume that the entire game is bad. And I know this might sound like, wow, you insane idiot. Why would you do that? But if you think about it the way that I think about it, ask yourself the question, why would you do that? Why would you take a character that is very attractive and that players clearly like, and then make it worse? Well, I'll tell you why. It's because, number one, you don't respect the source material, and number two, you want to use the source material as a vehicle for your worldview. And I think that people that do those two things oftentimes aren't going to tell good stories because their focus isn't about telling a good story. It's about telling their story. That's the reason. And I think that any time that you ever see a video game and they have uglified characters, you should immediately assume that the game is garbage. Because it's been infected with a sense of, with a sort of rot that will permeate the entire game. For me, I actually think it is a canary in the coal mine.
In Origins was a distant, cold, but somewhat caring individual once she got to know you. The crew slowly turns her to be kinder as time goes on. And if she had Kieran, a popular choice with the Warden usually, she ends up being a far more caring figure. In Inquisition, where we see her next, even without Kieran, she's grown slightly warmer, if only because of her affection for the hero of Faldrin, and her friends like Leliana. And yet Veilguard feels like it's butchered that in a way. You see her in-game as a deus ex machina. She appears when the plot demands it, drops off lore and tidbits, and leaves. You can have no interactions with her outside of cutscenes, and can't prod her or get to know her as the Inquisitor did. Did she have Kieran and marry the Warden? It's implied that she at least had Kieran because Solus takes a massive portion of power from Mythal, and she's at her strongest with that plot point, but the game makes no effort to actually speak about this. And the Warden, who is teased to be hunting a Kieran Inquisition, is not mentioned. Did he live, die, cured?
This is what I was saying before, is that people that have no respect for the source material have no respect for the source material. And that doesn't just end with making a character more woke or less attractive. It will permeate the entire story. And this is the exact example.
We'll never know. Not that it matters by the halfway point of the game.
See?
So much of this game feels empty and devoid of life because the NPCs sit around doing nothing.
That's the thing. Is like everybody always gets mad at me. They say, oh, he's just saying what's obvious. I know. I fucking know. I'm not a wizard. How the fuck are people like, oh, wow. Why do I need to say this? It should be fucking obvious. But it's not. Nobody sees it. I feel like I'm taking fucking crazy pills. I go on the internet, I read these comments. These people aren't even living in reality. What the fuck is going on? I don't know.
And the NPCs we know from previous games either don't act the way we expect them to, or are so distant from who they used to be, it makes no sense.
Yeah.
Even Morgan, who was in character, wasn't given a chance to finish her plot thread. Kieran basically doesn't exist. And the game treats all of the prequels to this as if they're taboo topics. I feel like even if this game's writing and story were better, which I don't think it does, it wouldn't get close to what the previous games had because the world feels devoid of all life and care once put into it. And the ending really helped cement the idea that they did this to distance themselves as much as they could from the Dragon Age keep, and the Sea of Choice is transferred over. From just 9 hours ago,
man.
Another top post reads, am I the only one who can't stand Tosh? I need to...
Uh-oh. It looks like we've got a bigot. Yeah. We've got a fucking bigot in here. Oh, wow. That's real bad. Do you think BioWare will be closed before the next Mass Effect? No. I think usually you need 2 points on a graph in order for a studio like this to fail, especially if it's a big studio like this, like BioWare. So they'll probably need Mass Effect 5 to fail too. And then they'll be done. Anthem? Well, who made Anthem? Oh, Oh. Uh-oh. Oh, geez. Oh, wow. Oh, shit. Man. That was back when I was only playing WoW. I didn't know that.
A place to vent. Just got done with the scene where I had to play Peacemaker between them and Emmerich, and the nerve on this Canary. They're constantly portrayed as this moody, angsty teenager and trash on everyone else, but especially Emmerich. I get being wary of necromancy, but the guy hasn't earned the bullying Tosh was giving him. In fact, Tosh comes across as the bully to everyone. How old are they supposed to be anyway? 18? I'm trying to be patient with them and see through the end of their storyline, but it doesn't help that...
Well, the reason why that character is written that way is because the way that you have to write characters that are of like a unique gender identity is you have to treat them like they're children that are never wrong about anything. Because you can't have a non-binary person with flaws, because if you have that, that means that you're saying that non-binary people are flawed. This is Twitter logic. That's the way it works.
Brooke can't call them out on their behavior at all. It can only be nice to them. It's like the writers were playing favorites and made sure Tosh was protected. Yeah, Tosh overall has to be one of the weirdest things about Veilguard. It's hilarious.
No, this is a very common, it's a very common pattern. And you'll see this in a lot of games, is that characters that are put into games for what would be considered to be a diversity reason are oftentimes the most like morally good, intelligent, and always come out of every interaction being the one that's on top. This is extremely common.
It's that the devs have tried to push Tosh as this like flagship character of the game, but the character just sucks. And I'll never get over how creepy this thumbnail is. Like,
It's
what
so
were they
bad.
thinking? Heck, even their storyline is so far the most boring. Like, we went to explore Dragoness, where I thought we would finally get to see their dragon hunting skills in action, and nothing. It was another therapy session. I'm sorry, I know some people might enjoy those scenes or relate to them, but I can't bring myself to care about their storyline at all. At this point, I don't even care that they're hunting a dragon or whatever. Darvin and I already took down an Archdemon anyway, and if I need dragon hunting tips, I can always ask the Inquisitor. Sucks that all companions are essential. I would have sent Tosh packing ages ago. Wonder if that's why the writers made them essential. Dang, so yeah, that post absolutely destroyed Tosh. Get wrecked.
That's why we recruited her.
Actually, Tosh uses them for themselves now.
They asked us to let folks know. So, now you do.
Yeah. I appreciate it.
How is it that...
Thank you for telling me. That's why we recruited them.
So yeah, I think we've all seen...
How is it that I just keep seeing more clips of this game that are like this? I feel like, because I'm the kind of person, like, if I see one clip getting passed around, I'm like, okay, everybody's just talking shit about this one thing that happened, because it's like, what else are we going to do? But, like, man, I just keep seeing more and more of these. There's more? Yes. It's like, how deep does this go? It's the whole game. That's amazing. I don't even know what to say. Time to do a brave? Yeah, I can't believe this.
The barf misgendering scene, but there was another one. Like shoving in as many of these things as they possibly can. The comments are hilarious. This game is so cringe, it's ridiculous. Is this real? This gotta be a joke. DEI simulator. That's why I play Space Marine. That's why. Hopping back over to the Dragon Age subreddit and the post about Tosh that we just read. One of the top responses says, yeah, kind of ironic how a non-binary character that has a whole arc about her pronouns is forcing a label on Emmerich and refusing to call him what he identifies as, even after telling Tosh it upsets him.
What an insanely fucking good point. Oh my god. Wow. Holy shit. She does what? So this guy like is referring to like himself as like a necromancer or whatever, what you are, and she's like insisting that like she's going to call him another word or another phrase that sounds bad. Play the clip? I don't know. I'd have to find it. That's the irony. Yeah, exactly. Like calling normal people cis? Was that the point? Yeah, it's completely hypocritical.
When he's called a death mage / corpse guy instead of his name. Tosh's response is, what? You are a death mage. Can no one in the writer's room see the irony here? Once again, I'm reminded of multiple occasions where these weirdo Twitter activist types of people were getting all mad about femboy characters. A few months ago, there was like this femboy anime that came out, and they kept misgendering him as a woman, saying it's a trans woman. Some of the people misgendering this character.
Oh my god. This kind of stuff, I know it might sound crazy, but this kind of stuff is the reason why people vote for people like Trump. It's because it's so fucking ridiculous. It's so outrageous that it just makes people furious. I actually think that like Democrats have done such a bad job at like removing these like weird gender activists from their space. I think that it's done so much damage. Honesty is a big factor. Yeah, it's huge.
Or even trans women. You think they would want to, gender people properly? But nah, to them it was okay when they do it. Talk about double standards. And then, of course, way before that, there was the situation with that femboy manga, where the localizers similarly turned the femboy character into a trans woman. The rights holders...
This is the problem, bro. Like, people don't understand it. And, like, I even made a chart for this because it was so problematic. Let me see if I can I find the chart here? Yeah, here we go. And so, again, you guys can go ahead and, there's a lot of young people that might not be as certain about how this chart works, but we do actually have the chart between boy, drag queen, cross-dressing, femboy, non-binary, traps, futanari, tomboys, and girls. Yeah, it's very, very simple. Anybody who's been on the internet and is a loser already knows all this.
Getting so upset they forced
Make asylums great again. True.
Similarly turned the femboy character into a trans woman. The rights holders getting so upset they forced it to get translated again the proper way.
What the fuck? So they tried to like force transgender on? Oh my god. This is insane.
But you had some localizers defending the mistranslation, including that Katrina lady. Anyways, continuing with comments on the Tosh post, this one reads, very juvenile type character. Supposed to be early 20s, but they act like 14 years old. Really weird that you can romance someone with that sort of personality. It's like romancing a child. Blah. Tosh is so...
That's a really weird way of saying it, and I think they're completely right. I never thought of it in that perspective, but yeah, true.
Someone self-insert or wish fulfillment character that's designed to exist so they can teach everyone how to treat non-binary folk, except they made them super unlikable and creepy.
Absolutely.
The character is a jerk unnecessarily to innocent people. They're hypocrites who don't respect others enough to use their names. And because this game is designed by people who don't want you to be mean ever, you can't call them out.
See, like, Dragon Age, it would have been absolutely fucking based if, like, in the story, there was, like, an option for you to like ignore the person's pronouns, and you can make this like the evil option where it's like, no, I'm not going to use your pronouns. You're not they, you're a her. I don't want to hear about it. But like, they would never do something like that, right? And like, I think that when you have situations like that happen, it becomes very evident that you're not playing an RPG. You're playing a tool that's designed to teach you a lesson.
On it in a way that makes sense.
Yeah, and it should say like Tosh did not like that, and then like if you misgender the character like 5 times, it starts like a hidden quest where you have to fight them, and they try to like kill you or something. Now that would be an actual RPG. That would be cinema, and that'd be worth it, because like you can go along with it or not. It's not the fact that it's in the game. It's the fact that it's in the game and there's no freedom to approach it. That'd be good. Yeah, you're saying, yeah. And then, oh yeah, right. If you do the duel with her and you beat her in the duel, you get banned for a hate crime. And they make it so you can't log into the game anymore. Now that would be, it's like, somebody said in like Microsoft Flight Simulator, if you fly the plane into the Twin Towers, they ban you. I don't know if that's true. I kind of wanted to try it, but like, I never really felt the time. And I think like Frogan was going to do something like that, but we'll have to wait for our ban to be out and then, we'll see what happens. Anyway, yes, abso-fucking-lutely, people love that shit. And the reason why is because it's fucking funny. It's funny. And it allows the person freedom to approach it in a way that's interesting. It absolutely does not ban you. Didn't you say that you wanted to become a terrorist when you were a kid? It was a lot more complicated than that, okay? That was not exactly what I said. Let me explain. Now, anyway, let me move on. Yeah, let's move on. There's a lot of context to that. It's actually a problem in RPGs with no good evil role-playing. Exactly. Like, and that's why you want to know one game that really did that super well. You know it, I know it, and everybody knows it. And yes, okay, all right. Yes, where is it? Baldur's Gate 3. Again, guys, in order for me to play Baldur's Gate 3, I have to beat every single other turn-based game that's been made. After I do that, then I will play Baldur's Gate 3. So yes, 5 hours played. Well, yeah, in 2020, I played the game for a stream. There's even a VOD of it on YouTube. But yeah, there's no, you can't be evil. Are you doing with metaphor? No, I'm not.
It's all acceptance or pivoting. I firmly believe that if it were possible to not recruit companions, get rid of them, kill them beforehand, early on, etc., etc., Tosh would be one of the most disposed of companions in the game, if not the absolute most removed from all the push.
Exactly.
Fans have been given.
And do you remember what happened? You want to hear a really great example of that? So I got sponsored by Dragon's Dogma 2, and they had me make a pawn of myself. And when the game came out, one of the most popular tweets of the game were people picking up my pawn and throwing it into the brine and killing it, and figuring out different ways to kill my pawn. He was so bad. Wait, no, he wasn't. Get the fuck out of here. No, it was good. What do you mean? I use your pawn? Yes. And so, of course, that's what people did. The brine hungers. I guess so.
How they were handled. Every time I type their name, my autocorrect almost changes it to trash. And while I would never call them that, the way the character behaves and is handled certainly lives up to
I would.
Autocorrection. That's on the writers, and whoever decided this character was a good idea. I mean, look, if the character's trash...
Autocorrects to trash. Let me see if mine does that. Oh, God. Give me a minute. TAASH. Okay. Give me a minute. I want to show you guys something. I just tried this. Okay. Okay. I have to send it to my Twitter, and then you guys can see it. Oh fuck, no, not that. Okay. Where is it? There it is. And we did it. Is it trash? It's better than that. It even does the emoji. It even added in the fucking emoji for the trash can. Man. Wow. What do you say?
And the character's trash. Nothing wrong with calling him trash. It's a trash character. It's junk. It's terrible. It's garbage. Moving on, we have another top post.
Somebody says Trump's doing a speech. When is it starting? When does the speech start? Does anybody know? Okay, nobody knows. Right. At 6? Okay, yeah, I'll watch it.
It's a trash character. It's junk. It's terrible. It's garbage. Moving on, we have another top post. This one from 19 hours ago. A significant percentage of the dialogue in this game is one of these 3 lines. Thank you so much. I'm so sorry. Are you okay? Every day.
I'm sorry for what you're going through. I understand you. Like, yeah, most of the dialogue is therapy.
In conversation, at least one comes up. people in Northern Thetis are very polite. While the echo chamber is starting to crack over on our Dragon Age, 3 days ago, that wasn't quite the case. This post being made instead over on our RPG game, saying, I played Dragon Age Veilguard. Goodness grief, man. I've been an avid RPG for probably... You've been an RPG... Probably RPG fan. That sounds funny, though.
Well, he is playing
I've been an avid RPG for probably centuries now.
Yeah.
Wait, what? Hold up. That doesn't make any sense even as fans.
Just let him cook. Let him cook.
This guy's freaking some like centuries old person.
He's a vampire.
I don't even know, but okay, continuing. Played the Mass Effect trilogy, Dragon Age Origins to Inquisition, Witcher 1 through 3, Wasteland 3, Persona 5 Royal, etc., etc. Somehow I never felt disinterested the longer I kept playing an RPG before. The more I play this game, the more draining it gets. It gets tiring. I'm probably 20 hours into this game now. Yeah, dude, this game freaking hurt this person's mind. Like, their brain is suffering, and we can already tell. I feel bad.
I didn't think it was this bad, but I know what this person's talking about. So, when I played Star Wars Outlaws, it felt like I speed ran having a 30-year career at an Amazon fulfillment warehouse. Like, I finished that, and I finished the stream, and I just sat out in my backyard on, like, a lawn chair, and I just, like, I kind of, like, hoped that I would turn into a lizard. You know, and just, like, forget about everything that happened in my life.
For this person, too much Veilguard. Man thinks he's, like, 300 years old or something. I don't know if it's the vision or the art direction of this game. The essence of what makes Dragon Age doesn't exist here. Like, it's wearing the skin of Dragon Age, or it should be some other fantasy game. The writing in this is just mediocre. Like, I'm supposed to be invested in my party members' questline, but I find them to not be compelling. They're just talking, and dialogue feels like they're conveying information to you rather than it being organic and natural. The writing is not mature enough to even tackle certain topics and themes.
That's a really great point. The writing is not mature enough for it even to tackle certain topics and themes. I saw that this was actually, it's really funny that comes up. So if you guys can believe this, I actually made a tweet yesterday. And so somebody asked me, PC Gamer. PC Gamer stands actually for, wait, no, not this one. It stands for Politically Correct Gamer. And so they said, Metaphor ReFantasio's success is further proof that politics are good in video games, actually, no matter what reactionaries tell you. And I replied to it and I said, no real people have a problem with politics in games. Metal Gear Solid and Metaphor prove this. The thing people have a problem with is political ideology and social ideology being inserted into a game in a heavy-handed, one-dimensional, and patronizing way. And so obviously a lot of people agreed with that. Somebody asked, the only politics I see in video games are people getting upset when there's black or gay people as characters or women aren't hot enough. I said there's only two races in video games. There's white and then there's woke. But otherwise, yeah, nobody has a problem with political video games. Clearly, nobody has a problem with it. Everybody knows that. But the problem is that it's written like a child has written it. That's exactly what's going on.
You feel the writing is leagues apart when you compare this
exactly.
to DA Origins or Witcher 3 or Baldur's Gate 3. Examples such as
any
these games
other
had
good
passion all over its writing quality and doesn't treat the audience's intelligence like a child. The combat's just basic and that's about it. It's flashy prime and detonation combo. The builds can be varied, but there isn't any tactical RPG aspect or lacking thereof to the combat.
No,
I'm just rushing through the main story. Afterwards, I go back to Metaphor ReFantasio, which is a great JRPG that came out recently. Maybe I revisit Veilguard some other time.
After I beat Metaphor, I think I'm going to play maybe Persona 3. And I might also play, I haven't decided, but I might also play, what's the other game? I'm trying to remember what it is. Oh yeah, that Unicorn Overlord game. It was going to be like another 5 first. Yeah, I might try that. I don't really know. But I was thinking about playing that one. Or, oh, there's the other one, Sea of Stars. I didn't play that.
Or just play the previous Dragon Age titles. It's best to probably not expect the good old BioWare glory days of clever, intriguing writing. Maybe I shouldn't. Back then, game developers cared about giving us a good story.
It's because the people that are writing it are not clever or intriguing. They're boring NPCs that have no interesting personality traits other than their gender identity. And maybe their political affiliations and actually probably their mental disorders.
love, care, passion, and integrity, and not forcing agendas, well, it's not the 2000 era anymore. So this guy got over 800 upvotes and this like 2 heart award thingies. Top response saying, my
Also
biggest
800
issue with
comments.
Veilguard is that we waited about 10 years for the next Dragon Age game, and this is what they have to show for it. No player world states, dumbed down RPG elements, dumbed down story, idiotic design choices, etc. If it wasn't specifically Dragon Age or not marketed as a literal follow-up to Inquisition, people would probably be more forgiving. But from a developer previously known for great works only, is just disappointing. Really disheartening to see my former favorite series slowly wither away.
As a WoW player, I wonder how that feels.
So yeah, as you can see, things are just getting worse and worse for Veilguard, even on the main Dragon Age subreddit. As mentioned at the very start, the Steam reviews are also trending down. But let me know what you think about this stuff in the comments. Also consider liking and or subscribing to the channel if you enjoyed my coverage. Appreciate you, and I'll see you in the next one.
I think this is what's going to happen more and more, is that, and also like what's going to happen with a game like Dragon Age now that it's failed. I think that what's going to end up happening is that people like watch this.
If that's why the writers made them essential. Dang, so yeah, that post absolutely destroyed Tosh. Get wrecked.
That's why we recruited her.
Actually, Tosh uses them for themselves now.
They asked us to let folks know, so now you do.
Yeah. I appreciate it.
Thank you for telling me. That's why we recruited them.
So yeah, I think we've all seen the
It would be crazy if one character in one game killed BioWare. It would really be nuts. How is it worse every time? Because I paused it and I told a joke in the middle, so you forgot how cringe it was. That's the reason why. Who the fuck signed off on that? Someone who was afraid to get labeled a bigot for not signing off on it, obviously. That it creates a feedback loop of toxic positivity because nobody wants to call this stuff out for what it is because they're afraid of being labeled as a bad person. This makes pronouns people look worse. Oh, it absolutely does. Like I think that I'm the same as a lot of you guys where it's like I try to be compassionate and positive towards people. So like if they have a gender problem, a gender identity problem, I try to work with them and I don't want to like insult them or like degrade them or anything like that. And so that's what I think is really so negative about this is that it provides such a one-dimensional and cynical viewpoint on people that have these gender identity problems is that it treats them like they are aggressive children and the way they should be treated is with kid gloves because if you accidentally say something that offends them, they could get upset and get really mad at you. It's patronizing to everyone. Yeah, exactly. Being indifferent to them is now a bad thing and these people hate you. Yeah, the pronoun thing is even more hilarious. You see the game is another language and a neutral pronoun doesn't exist, so they just make stuff up. Well, yeah, I wonder why that is. I wonder why so many languages don't even have a word for that. Yeah, what a surprise. It's crazy how people just like, it's nuts. It's like real life. Yeah, exactly. Work in psychiatry and they do respond that way. Yeah, they made Tash act like a teenager. Well, that's because you have to understand that a lot of people that have these issues, they have that viewpoint. That's how they are. Like that's how they feel. That's how they act. Yeah, it's a bigotry of low expectations. Well, yeah, it's that they're treated like children. Yeah, you require a juvenile mom to behave that way? Yeah, there's the video. I completely agree with this. I think it's really funny to see this game continue crashing and burning. It really is. Apparently, the game was meant to be like multiplayer looter game, and I think that after playing it, I can easily see that to be the case. It's disappointing that they didn't take that approach because I think it definitely would have been better than making it an RPG. Because I feel like now it's like it's a bad looter game and it's also a bad RPG. Whereas before it could have just simply only been a bad RPG. Yeah, much of mentally ill, developmentally stunted writers self-inserting. Yeah, exactly. It's like that's the difference between like the self-insert of, you know, like Samwise Gamgee that Tolkien did as, you know, an homage to like a man who served him in World War I. And then this is their idea of a self-insert, which is this obnoxious, annoying teenager that's constantly mad at everybody, completely hypocritical, obnoxious, and unlikable. Because that's definitely how to make other people accept your gender identity, is to be obnoxious and rude and make no one like you. I don't know what to say.